Welcome to Taurus Astro. Today we begin an important series on Vedic astrology where we will explore the role of the fourth house lord in all 12 houses of the horoscope. The fourth house is one of the most vital pillars of life. Along with the first, seventh, and 10th, it forms the central structure of our existence. It represents your home, inner happiness, peace of mind, emotional well-being, mother, domestic environment, real estate, vehicles, property, and comforts. It also reflects your childhood memories, nurturing nature, and sense of stability. Every human being is ultimately searching for happiness, peace, and comfort. The fourth house shows where that inner peace comes from. It is also the first house of the moksha triangle, and therefore deeply connected with your emotions, your subconscious, and your ability to let go. When the fourth lord moves into different houses, it colors your life in unique ways. For example, if the fourth lord goes to the 11th house, material gains and social status may become the key source of your happiness. If it sits with benefic planets like the Moon, Venus, Jupiter, or Mercury, life feels smoother, peaceful, and emotionally fulfilling. But if it is influenced by malefics like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, or Ketu, the person may face struggles, restlessness, or shifting domestic environments. This is why it is not enough to look at just one chart. Always check the fourth lord in the main birth chart, D1, the Navamsha, D9, and also from the moon sign. Together, these three perspectives reveal where your true peace of mind lies. Great leaders and powerful figures in history often had a strong fourth lord or a powerful Saturn in Cancer, the natural fourth house, giving them the ability to influence the emotions of the masses and inspire others. In this series, we will decode how the fourth lord in each house shapes your life, your mind, and your destiny. We will go house by house, uncovering the fruits it gives and the lessons it teaches. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to Taurus Astro, and share it with your friends who are passionate about astrology. Your support allows us to keep bringing you deeper insights into the timeless wisdom of Jyotish. Now, let's begin our journey into the mysteries of the fourth house lord in all 12 houses. When the lord of the fourth house is placed in the first house or ascendant, it creates a very interesting impact on the personality and the overall life of the native. The fourth house in Vedic astrology represents home, mother, inner peace, nurturing, property, and vehicles. When its lord comes into the ascendant, which is the house of self, body, and personality, all these qualities become a direct part of who the person is. The native carries the energy of home and inner peace in their own personality. They tend to nurture themselves first and often become their own best friend. Spending time with themselves feels natural and comforting, and they often carry an aura of care and nourishment that reflects in their interactions with others. This placement often makes the bond with the mother very central in life. The mother may have a strong influence on shaping the personality, career, and habits of the native. In many cases, the mother is seen as a guide, a teacher, or sometimes even a strict disciplinarian who instills values, discipline, and responsibility. The mother may hold an authoritative role or a respected position in society, and her career or opinions may directly shape the profession of the child. Many times the career path of the native may even come through the advice or inspiration of the mother. Such people are deeply connected to the idea of home, roots, and domestic life. They may feel homesick when away for long and always carry a desire to return to familiar surroundings. Their mind is often occupied with thoughts of home, property, or family matters. They also tend to involve themselves in activities connected with real estate, interior or exterior design, vehicles, and land-related work. Even if they pursue different professions, their focus always comes back to stability, home, and the security of assets. This position also shows that their peace of mind comes from their own actions, karma, and professional direction. Since the fourth lord has gone 10 houses away into the ascendant, the karma of home and inner happiness becomes central to their personality and drives their ambitions. Such people are motivated to build wealth, property, and assets that bring long-term satisfaction. They may spread their wealth across different areas, from houses and vehicles to investments, stocks, and even modern assets like cryptocurrencies. The placement can also create a perfectionist attitude. These natives may often become their own biggest critics. If the planet ruling the fourth house is strong and benefic, the person will find peace and steady growth in life, building assets and enjoying a strong bond with the mother. But if the planet is weak, afflicted, or malefic, the person may struggle with constant dissatisfaction, restlessness, or even depression. They may try to juggle too many things at once, leading to delays and frustration. In such cases, they must learn to prioritize, structure their goals, and avoid scattering their energy. Another important factor is how they carry their nurturing nature into their profession. If they express care, empathy, and respect for colleagues, employees, or even household help, their fourth house gives strong positive results. But if they fail to carry this nurturing energy into their external life, the fourth house may get disturbed, leading to unhappiness, property disputes, or a lack of peace. Therefore, honoring the qualities of care, respect, and responsibility in all dealings is crucial. This placement can also give strong opportunities in careers connected with real estate, land, construction, architecture, vehicles, or even businesses related to renting and leasing properties. In many cases, such people can gain wealth through family property or inheritances. But they must be careful in legal matters connected to land and property, because afflictions can bring litigation or disputes. Mentally, such natives may constantly question themselves, asking if they are doing right or wrong, and this self-analysis can be both a strength and a weakness. It keeps them aware, but it can also create unnecessary pressure. Developing good habits and maintaining discipline becomes essential, because bad habits directly disturb their peace of mind. Since the fourth house also represents emotions and mental well-being, keeping a nurturing and balanced lifestyle protects them from instability. Over time, the presence of the fourth lord in the ascendant allows the person to keep growing in terms of knowledge, inner strength, and assets. It is a placement that matures beautifully with age. When the person learns to embrace peace, live in harmony with themselves, and bring nurturing qualities into their karma, the blessings of the fourth house multiply. They gain respect, property, and happiness, and they find that their inner world and outer success are closely connected. So, the overall message of the fourth lord in the ascendant is that your inner peace, your home, and your roots are not separate from you. They are you. Your personality carries the essence of your home and your mother. And as long as you embrace those qualities with care, respect, and responsibility, life will continuously grow in the direction of peace and fulfillment. When the lord of the fourth house is placed in the second house, it creates a deep and meaningful connection between family roots, values, wealth, speech, and inner emotional security. The fourth house represents the mother, home, comforts, property, inner peace, and the foundation of life, while the second house represents family, wealth, speech, food, and early education. When these two areas of life connect, the native often experiences both prosperity and challenges that are strongly tied to their family and sense of belonging. This placement often shows that a person may be born into a family where prosperity, values, and comfort are already present, or that they themselves will work hard to bring wealth and stability to the family through their own efforts and resources. The blessings of the mother or the inheritance of family values play an important role in shaping the person's identity and future. The mind and inner willpower indicated by the fourth house find expression through speech and financial management in the second house, showing that such a person can use their voice, intelligence, or values to create wealth and stability. The second house is 11th from the fourth house, which means it acts as a place of gains for fourth house matters. In simple words, the efforts, knowledge, and emotional strength of the native will bring growth, wealth, and fulfillment into the sphere of family, speech, and savings. This can manifest as prosperity after marriage, growth in family life, or success through industries related to food, property, real estate, or even restaurants and catering. A strong and benefic fourth house lord here can give a refined lifestyle, interest in luxury, and a strong love for family traditions. If the planet ruling the fourth house is Jupiter, Venus, or Moon, this connection becomes very favorable. The person may inherit good values, have a refined education, and be blessed with family support. If it is Moon or Venus, there can be interest in food, culinary arts, or even professions connected with nurturing and caring. If it is Jupiter, then moral values, generosity, and strong family culture will be emphasized. Such natives can also become great teachers, speakers, or motivators, using their words to heal, inspire, and uplift others. The placement also strongly influences speech. Since the fourth house represents emotions and the second house represents voice, the speech of the person becomes powerful, filled with emotions, and capable of moving others. Many motivational speakers and counselors have this placement, as they can heal or encourage others through their words. However, if afflicted by malefic planets, the same speech can become harsh, abusive, or destructive, bringing conflicts within the family and disturbing mental peace. There is also a possibility of family disputes or separation if malefic aspects influence this combination. Problems with the mother or misunderstandings about wealth and inheritance can arise in some charts. The fourth house being third from the second also shows that communication within the family must be carefully handled, otherwise unnecessary arguments or issues may affect peace and harmony. At times, conflicts may also be seen with the father or authority figures, depending on planetary combinations. Despite these risks, the placement usually gives strong willpower and the ability to work hard for comfort, property, and stability. Such a person may invest in real estate, vehicles, and home decoration, as they find happiness in beautifying their surroundings and giving comfort to the family. They can also have a deep desire to uphold family traditions, values, and moral principles, and when they follow these traditions, their mind feels more peaceful and secure. The influence of this placement can also extend to the spouse and married life. Since the second house is connected with family expansion, marriage often brings financial growth and increased responsibilities. In some cases, the spouse may have a connection to foreign lands or professions involving research, engineering, or service, depending on the planet involved. Transformation in the spouse's career or life path may also be seen. Overall, the Lord of the fourth house in the second house is a powerful position for wealth, family values, speech, and emotional fulfillment. It can bring prosperity, respect, and growth if handled positively, especially through the wise use of speech and the preservation of family values. The key is to avoid negativity, harsh words, or fear of financial loss, and instead use willpower and knowledge to create abundance. Such a person's true peace lies in balancing material wealth with moral values and emotional security, making family traditions and inner harmony the foundation of their success. When the fourth house lord moves into the third house, the energy of home, comfort, mother, inner peace, and assets shifts into the space of effort, communication, short travels, courage, and siblings. This placement often creates a person who must build comfort and property through their own hard work rather than inheriting it. The blessings of the fourth house are still present, but they manifest only when the native puts in effort, takes initiative, and shows courage. Comfort comes, but it is self-made, and this makes the person strong, independent, and capable of creating value from their own actions, because the fourth lord goes 12 places away from itself when placed in the third house. It shows a sense of expenditure, movement, and transformation. A person with this placement often feels restless at home and may find peace when traveling, working, or engaging in hobbies. The mind does not easily settle, and there are countless thoughts about security, education, or property. Spiritual practice, meditation, and blessings of the mother bring stability and balance in such cases. Without them, the person may feel mentally unsettled and restless. This placement may indicate that the person has to struggle for education, often experiencing changes of school or interruptions during learning years. Sometimes the native studies away from home, in hostels or boarding schools, or must travel daily to receive proper education. The idea of transformation in education and early life is very strong when the fourth lord shifts into the third house, because the third house represents effort and movement, while the fourth house represents stability and nurturing. The relationship with the mother can also show unique patterns. In some cases, the mother becomes spiritual, artistic, or even engaged in teaching or law-related professions, especially if planets like Venus or Saturn are involved. Sometimes the mother may be strict, controlling, or facing health issues, and there may be a sense of distance or frequent changes in the relationship. Still, her blessings remain very important, and traditions like touching the mother's feet or taking her blessings before important work are highly beneficial for this placement. Symbolically, it strengthens both destiny and comfort in life. In practical life, the fourth lord in the third house can bring opportunities in communication, media, transport, travel, marketing, or sales. The native may use their own vehicle or assets to generate income, for example by starting a business related to transport, tourism, or commuting services. This placement also connects to startups and entrepreneurship, where the person invests their assets or property to build something new. However, there is always a risk that these investments may not bring the desired results, so careful decisions and calculated risks are necessary. From another angle, the third house is the house of hobbies, so the native may spend on hobbies connected to vehicles, sports, racing, interior design, or other asset-based interests. Such hobbies may provide joy and mental peace, but they also reflect the theme of expenditure and depreciation of assets. In some cases, this placement makes a person more active outside the home, spending time with friends, siblings, or in different activities rather than staying within the family space. When benefic planets become the fourth house lord and occupy the third house, they provide stamina, courage, and charm in communication. The person becomes good at motivating others, using words and voice to inspire people, and sometimes being seen as a guide or teacher. Such natives are generally kind-hearted, straightforward, and unable to cheat others, unless heavily influenced by planets like Rahu or Ketu. With Mercury or Saturn involved, technical or mechanical knowledge can become strong, leading to skills in bargaining, business, or machinery. If malefic planets are involved, the struggle becomes more intense, and comfort is only achieved after constant effort. The person may face obstacles, property issues, or loss of assets through risky decisions, such as mortgaging property for a business that does not succeed. The key lesson is that hard work and persistence are necessary, and that spiritual balance and discipline are essential to avoid confusion and excessive worry. Still, this struggle creates a fighter spirit, someone who stands up to challenges and becomes self-made. Overall, the fourth lord in the third house creates a life where comfort is not freely given but earned through courage, effort, and movement. The native learns to find peace through travel, hobbies, communication, and spiritual practices. There is a restless quality in the mind, but when balanced with effort, blessings of the mother, and wise choices, this placement leads to growth, success, and the creation of self-earned happiness. When the fourth house lord is placed in the fourth house itself, it creates one of the strongest and most stable combinations in a birth chart. The fourth house is the foundation of life, representing home, inner happiness, mother, property, vehicles, and emotional stability. When the ruler of this house sits in its own domain, it strengthens all these significations and makes the base of life very strong. Such a person usually feels deeply rooted, emotionally balanced, and connected to their homeland and family traditions. Their inner peace becomes powerful, and they carry a natural sense of security wherever they go. This placement often shows that the native is blessed with comfort and happiness right from birth. They usually come from a family where property, vehicles, or assets are already present, or they develop these with time in a steady way. Many times, people with this combination use one asset to create many more. For example, they may start with one home, then invest in a larger property, or start with one vehicle and slowly expand into a business related to transport or real estate. This multiplier effect is a very natural quality of the fourth house lord in the fourth house, because it creates a strong link between property, stability, and career growth. The aspect of the fourth house lord onto the 10th house of career also shows that the native's profession and success are connected to their home environment. Many people with this placement do very well in work-from-home setups, real estate, property development, agriculture, vehicles, or businesses connected to land and housing. If planets like Venus, Mercury, or Jupiter are involved, the native can be surrounded by luxury, large buildings, or artistic environments in their work. If Saturn is involved, then the connection may be with heavy industries, iron, or construction fields. Emotionally, these natives are very attached to their mother and homeland. They often carry deep memories of their childhood, and even as adults, they remain nostalgic about the places and people they grew up with. Their mother usually has a very strong influence in their lives, either through direct support or through struggles that shaped the native's personality. In many cases, the mother has gone through a lot of transformation, and the native inherits her strength. If the planet is retrograde, this bond may bring challenges, delays, or emotional dissatisfaction, even though material comforts are still present. When the fourth house lord is retrograde, it changes the picture slightly. The person still receives comforts, assets, and happiness, but the satisfaction may not be immediate. They may get things with some delay, or they may feel that even though they have everything, they are not fully content. This is because retrograde energy makes them introspective, and they may question their happiness. Still, the foundation of life remains strong, and their willpower is extraordinary. Such people have the strength to fight against time, adapt to challenges, and still preserve their inner core of stability. Spirituality is another important theme here. The fourth house is part of the moksha trikona, the triangle of liberation. When the Lord sits strongly in its own house, the person naturally develops an understanding of detachment, peace, and higher knowledge. Even if they achieve a lot in material life, they have an inner side that craves spiritual growth and emotional purity. They may practice religion, meditation, or simply live a life where inner peace is more important than outer show. Home and domestic life become central in their journey. Such people love staying at home, often feel homesick when they are away, and see their home as heaven. They enjoy creating a peaceful and comfortable environment around them, and they feel happiest when surrounded by family. If the planet is retrograde, there may be frequent domestic arguments, but still the person values home life deeply. They take care of their family, and family bonds remain an important part of their existence. This placement also brings recognition and support from friends and community. The native is usually respected, and people around them feel comfortable in their presence. They have a natural charm that comes from emotional strength and stability. They may not always be extroverted, but they create deep and lasting bonds with people. Their social and spiritual personality makes them admired in society, and they may also take interest in welfare activities connected to home, land, or community growth. Overall, the fourth house lord in the fourth house gives strong foundation, emotional depth, property gains, career support, and spiritual tendencies. Even with challenges such as retrograde motion, the person's willpower and stability allow them to overcome delays and difficulties. They carry a deep love for their homeland, a strong bond with their mother, and a natural ability to multiply their assets. Their life reflects the balance of material comfort and inner growth, making this placement one of the most powerful and supportive in Vedic astrology. When the fourth house lord is placed in the fifth house, it creates a very auspicious combination because a Kendra house lord is moving into a trine. This makes a Raj Yoga where the house of peace, property, and mother connects with the house of education, children, and creativity. It shows that the person will have a strong foundation of knowledge and will be able to transform that knowledge into qualifications, degrees, and achievements. Many times these people are able to study in good institutions and their education becomes the base of their professional success. The connection with the 11th house ensures that gains in life are tied to the quality of their education. Such placement also makes the native a very good student and someone who loves to learn throughout life. The wisdom is of a high standard and moral values are strong in their thinking. They are clever, quick to respond, and often have a sharp sense of humor. Their intellect never rests and they are naturally drawn towards research, spiritual practices, and learning new things. If planets like Mercury or Venus are involved, the person becomes artistic, entertaining, and enjoys music, art, or creative expression. If Jupiter is the fourth lord in the fifth, then the person can be deeply spiritual and very good at mantra practice. The relationship with children becomes very important. There is often strong attachment to the first child and a lot of love and care goes towards their growth. The native becomes an affectionate and responsible parent, bringing cultural and moral values into their children's lives. In many cases, the first child can be spiritual or even settle abroad. The influence of the mother also plays a big role in the upbringing of children, as she provides wealth, support, and religious guidance that gets passed on to the next generation. This combination also indicates that the native will invest resources intelligently. They often show interest in stock market, speculative ventures, or hedging strategies. Their creativity expresses itself in financial planning, and they use their assets in clever ways to multiply wealth. Many with this placement do higher education in finance, business, or economics and then work in corporate or investment fields where they apply their knowledge both professionally and personally. The mind of the person finds peace when engaged in education, hobbies, mantra practice, music, art, or entertainment. They are not satisfied just by watching television or doing passive activities. They prefer to spend quality time with children, go for trips, or engage in learning and creative outlets. Their happiness comes from active involvement with family and hobbies, and not from isolation. Spiritually, this is a very positive placement because the fifth house is also connected to past life karma and virtuous deeds. The comforts in life often come as a result of good deeds from the past, and the native is naturally inclined to do good actions in this life as well. The fifth being ninth from the ninth also connects them with higher knowledge, dharma, and spiritual inclinations. Mantra recitation, meditation, or religious practices bring peace of mind to such people. The mother is usually a wealthy or supportive figure in their life. Her health might sometimes become a concern because the fourth lord goes second from itself, which can carry Maraka qualities, but overall her presence and blessings bring comfort and strength. She is often religious, cultured, and passes down spiritual knowledge and traditions to the family. Love life is also influenced by this placement. Since the fifth house rules romance and the fourth house rules mind, the native often has a deep emotional inclination towards love relationships. They may strongly desire love marriage, and if the seventh lord also connects here, the possibility of marriage through love becomes very strong. They seek emotional fulfillment in relationships and their heart finds comfort in love and companionship. Overall, this placement creates an intelligent, creative, spiritual, and supportive personality. Such people need to balance education, hobbies, and family life with entertainment and self-expression. When they focus only on work without nurturing their artistic or spiritual side, they may feel restless. But when they allow themselves to learn, practice mantras, create art, or spend joyful time with family, their mind finds peace and life becomes deeply fulfilling. When the fourth lord is placed in the sixth house, it creates a very complex situation in a person's life because the fourth house represents home, mother, inner peace, mind, happiness, and assets, while the sixth house is a place of debts, enemies, competition, service, diseases, and disputes. This combination often shows that peace of mind and comfort do not come easily, and the person has to struggle hard to achieve them. Many times such people acquire property or vehicles through loans, and even if they do, they may face disputes, damage, or litigation related to those assets. This placement can also affect the relationship with the mother, because the fourth house represents her. And when its lord goes to the sixth house, the mother may have health issues or a difficult life. She is usually hardworking, but there may be struggles connected to her well-being. On the other side, maternal uncles play an important role in providing support and comfort to the native. Although retrograde planets here can create conflicts with them, the mind of the native is deeply tied to the sixth house energies, which means it often gets caught in debts, conflicts, or internal enemies such as anger, greed, or ego. However, the sixth house also represents service, healing, and helping others, including animals. When the mind is directed towards service, charity, or caring for animals, then peace of mind becomes possible. Acts of selfless service and helping the weak or needy calm the restless mind and bring relief from constant struggles. Professionally, this placement can push a person toward jobs or services that involve competition, effort, and continuous fighting spirit. The sixth house is an upachaya, which means it improves with time, so even though early life may bring challenges, continuous effort brings growth. Such people may develop careers in health-related fields, healing, therapy, or even jobs connected to travel, insurance, banking, or services where property, vehicles, and assets are used for professional purposes. Sometimes this placement brings sudden expenses or loss of property due to medical treatments or accidents. Cars and vehicles may often require repairs, or unexpected problems like flooding or damages may arise even without personal fault. Careful planning regarding loans, mortgages, or property purchases is very important for these natives, because otherwise they may face unnecessary financial or legal troubles. The energy of competition is strong here, so the person often feels that nothing in life comes without a fight. This makes them determined to achieve their goals through struggle. At the same time, if the fourth lord is retrograde or debilitated in this house, unique results can happen, including Raja Yoga, which gives power and success. In such cases, the person may even prepare for government exams or competitive tests and succeed after long effort. The father's profession may go through sudden transformations because the fourth house is the eighth from the ninth, and when its lord moves to the sixth, changes in the father's career are seen. The father may work in a field connected with authority, regulations, foreign industries, or even research and occult-related subjects. Authority, rules, and discipline often surround the father's career path. The sixth house also influences relationships and marriage because the fourth lord here aspects the 12th from the 7th house, showing sacrifices and adjustments in partnership. There can be situations where assets are used for divorce settlements, or tensions arise in married life due to financial and legal issues. But at the same time, service and sacrifice become key lessons, and when embraced, they transform difficulties into spiritual growth. Overall, the fourth lord in the sixth house is a placement of struggle that pushes the native to grow through obstacles. Inner happiness is not automatic but achieved through service, discipline, and conscious detachment from negativity. When the person channels their energy into helping others, building a career through service, and handling assets wisely, the difficult energies of the sixth house gradually transform into sources of strength, growth, and eventual peace. When the lord of the fourth house is placed in the seventh house, the entire theme of peace of mind, comfort, and emotional stability becomes tied to relationships, partnerships, and especially the spouse. The fourth house represents home, mother, property, and inner satisfaction, while the seventh house represents marriage, business partnerships, and the people we meet face to face. When the connection happens, the individual tends to find emotional balance and comfort through their life partner and the quality of relationships they build. This placement often shows that the native feels most satisfied when their partner is supportive and present in their life. Peace of mind is not something they find in isolation but through companionship, sharing, and togetherness. It is also common that such people may meet their future spouse during their school or college years, when their emotional life is still developing. The happiness of home and family naturally blends with the commitment and bond of marriage. It is often seen that the qualities of the mother influence the choice of spouse. For men, they may seek in their wife certain traits that they experienced or longed for in their mother, such as nurturing, caring, or the way the household is managed. For women, they may expect their husband to offer the same protection, sensitivity, or affection that they received or wished for from their mother. In both cases, the emotional needs of the native strongly shape their expectations in relationships. When benefic planets influence this placement, the spouse becomes a source of comfort, luxury, and happiness. Marriage can bring assets, property, and vehicles, and overall material comfort increases after marriage. The spouse not only becomes a life partner but also a strong supporter who enhances the native's peace of mind. Such people often build their wealth and assets together with their partner, and partnership plays a crucial role in financial growth. However, challenges can also arise. If malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, or Mars influence this combination, there may be conflicts between mother and spouse, leading to stress in family life. There can also be delays in marriage or significant age differences with the spouse. In some cases, the interference of the mother in marital life can create disputes and misunderstandings, which need to be carefully managed. Another possible challenge is overattachment. The native may become so emotionally dependent on their partner that they lose their individuality. Their happiness becomes completely tied to how their spouse behaves or responds, which can lead to emotional setbacks if expectations are not met. Overpossessiveness is also a risk, as the native may try to control or dominate the partner due to deep emotional needs. This placement also shows that the person is naturally collaborative and finds growth through partnerships. In business as well, they prefer joint ventures and partnerships rather than working alone. The seventh house is also the 10th from the 10th, meaning career and business are strongly linked with relationships and deals. Such people are often drawn toward business, trade, or professions that involve dealing with others, and their success is tied to their ability to build trust and partnerships. The influence of the seventh house also shows that the company one keeps is very important. If they associate with good, positive people, their life will flourish with peace and prosperity. But if they fall into bad company, they may lose assets, face disputes, or experience downfall. Relationships are the key that either build or destroy their comfort. Their life direction depends greatly on how they choose their partner, friends, and associates. In some cases, especially when difficulties are faced in marriage or partnerships, the native may turn toward spirituality. After repeated emotional setbacks, they may learn detachment and begin to search for peace within, rather than depending on external relationships. This shift can bring positivity, maturity, and inner growth, transforming their life experience. In the end, the fourth lord in the seventh house teaches that true happiness comes from balancing emotional needs with partnership responsibilities, and that both relationships and inner wisdom are essential for peace of mind. When the lord of the fourth house moves into the eighth house, the energy of home, emotions, and comfort gets deeply connected with transformation, secrecy, and sudden events. The eighth house is a house of unpredictability, so the mind of the native becomes restless and experiences sudden ups and downs. This placement shows strong mood swings and changes in emotional stability, sometimes without clear reasons. The native can be very sensitive to the words and behavior of others, and this can affect their peace of mind in a big way. The fourth house also represents the mother, so when its lord is placed in the eighth house, it can indicate challenges regarding the mother's health or longevity. If benefic planets aspect or join this placement, then the mother can be well educated, artistic, and full of wisdom, but if afflicted, it can bring long-term health problems or even loss. In some cases, the person may lose their mother early in life, which brings deep transformation and emotional intensity. This placement also gives the native a natural inclination toward research, occult sciences, and hidden knowledge. They may be interested in astrology, tantra, psychology, or detective-like professions where uncovering secrets is important. The mind feels comfort in exploring mysteries, and such a person may enjoy research or even careers in medicine, especially internal medicine, healing, or subjects that require investigation and analysis. Financially, the eighth house is connected with joint wealth, inheritance, and sudden gains or losses. With the fourth lord here, property, assets, or real estate may bring sudden rise in value or unexpected loss. A person may invest in land or property that multiplies in value due to sudden government projects or development around it. At the same time, there is also risk of losing assets through unpredictable events such as market crashes, health crises, or global situations like pandemics. This placement connects the mind with speculative tendencies, so the person may be drawn to stocks, lottery, or risky investments. The eighth house is also the house of secrecy, so the person tends to hide their emotions and rarely shares their deepest feelings with others. They may appear secretive, and even when they want to know everything about others, they do not want others to know too much about them. This can create a private inner world where they carry hidden fears or anxieties. Sometimes they may feel unknown fears, like someone is working against them, or they may be drawn toward mystical practices to protect themselves. Transformation is a major theme with this placement. The native experiences sudden and powerful changes in life, especially related to home, education, or inner peace. Childhood education may go through interruptions or sudden transformations. Life can take unexpected turns, and only later does the person realize that those changes were necessary for growth. At first, these transformations may feel uncomfortable, but with time they bring depth, wisdom, and maturity. Since the mind is linked to the eighth house, peace comes when the person accepts change and practices letting go. If they hold on too tightly to fears, losses, or emotional pain, they will suffer more. But if they use the eighth house energy for contemplation, meditation, and self-awareness, it gives them strength to overcome difficulties. This placement can make the mind deeply spiritual if the person learns to embrace inner transformation. Professionally, natives with this placement often find success in fields related to finance, insurance, taxation, medicine, research, or occult sciences. They may also do well in jobs where secrecy and analysis are required, such as intelligence, investigation, or even spiritual guidance. The quality of this placement depends on the dignity of the fourth lord and the aspects it receives. With benefic influence, it can bring wisdom and inner growth, but under malefic influence, it can create mental stress, financial instability, or hidden fears. Overall, when the fourth lord is in the eighth house, it brings a deep and transformative journey for the mind, emotions, and comfort of the native. Life is filled with hidden challenges, sudden changes, and emotional intensity. But if the native embraces research, spirituality, and the art of letting go, this placement can become a powerful source of wisdom, strength, and self-discovery. When the lord of the fourth house moves into the ninth house, it creates a powerful influence that connects personal comfort, home, and inner peace with higher wisdom, spiritual growth, and the guidance of teachers. The ninth house is a house of dharma and fortune, while the fourth house represents mind, emotions, and domestic stability. When this connection happens, the individual finds peace of mind when pursuing higher knowledge, serving gurus, or engaging in spiritual practices. The mind naturally inclines toward philosophy, scriptures, and deeper understanding of religion. Such a person may study different traditions, not necessarily to follow all of them, but to grasp their wisdom and apply it to life in a practical way. This placement often gives a charitable nature and a strong desire to serve. Many times, these individuals are found offering their time and energy in spiritual places such as temples or educational institutions. They may help in simple yet meaningful ways, like assisting others, teaching children without expectation of reward, or even taking part in community service. The spirit of service becomes a natural part of their personality, and this helps them build good karma. Their destiny often unfolds positively when they embrace this service-minded attitude. The connection also shows a deep bond with teachers and father figures. The father's life may undergo many transformations and struggles, and this can shape the native's worldview. The father may belong to professions linked with authority, discipline, or responsibility such as law, army, police, or medical services. Sometimes there can be tensions or differences between the parents that affect the person's emotional life, but the overall direction is one of growth through wisdom and sacrifice. The advice of the mother also plays an important role in shaping the native's fortune and should never be ignored. There is often a strong tendency toward travel and exploration. These individuals may relocate for education, career, or spiritual reasons, and may even find their true happiness away from their birthplace. Foreign connections, long-distance journeys, or pilgrimages bring them both personal joy and professional opportunities. Sometimes their work may involve industries like heavy equipment, medical devices, or other technical fields that connect to the idea of large systems or machinery. Their career growth may also come through transferable jobs or assignments abroad. Art, music, and mantra practice can also become important. Since the fourth lord links with the ninth, there is a possibility of developing artistic or spiritual talents that bring both inner satisfaction and opportunities to serve others. Chanting, music, and creative expression can become a form of sadhana, a discipline that brings peace of mind and connects them to higher energies. By using their artistic or intellectual gifts as a service, they elevate their own destiny while helping others. This placement also creates Sarasvati Yoga, which blesses the person with knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to teach or inspire others. Education is central in their life, and they may dedicate time or resources to learning as well as to helping others learn. Charity in the form of books, knowledge sharing, or teaching free of cost often appears in their life path. The more they spread wisdom, the more their own fortune shines. This is why education and service are deeply tied to their luck and prosperity. There can be challenges too. Because the fourth lord is 6 houses away from its original position, there is sometimes an inner restlessness of the mind. At times these people may compare themselves with others and feel jealousy or discontent. They must guard against wasting energy in such thoughts. At work, they should be careful in dealing with superiors and while handling responsibilities such as documents or agreements, because mistakes could bring unnecessary problems. Respectful communication with authority figures is essential. Despite challenges, the overall placement is considered very auspicious. It combines the energy of the fourth house with the dharmic blessings of the ninth, creating a fortunate link that supports wisdom, travel, prosperity, and spiritual growth. The key is to embrace service, respect elders, follow the mother's advice, and dedicate energy toward knowledge and education. This way, the restless mind finds peace and the destiny of the individual blossoms beautifully. In conclusion, the fourth lord in the ninth house shows a life path where inner happiness, education, spirituality, and service come together. The person grows by balancing family values with higher wisdom and by transforming personal comfort into meaningful contributions to society. Such a placement is a blessing for both material growth and spiritual elevation, provided the native lives with humility, service, and devotion. If this makes sense, please like, share, and subscribe to Taurus Astro for more insights. When the lord of the fourth house is placed in the 10th house, life becomes very strongly centered around career, work, and public reputation. The 10th house is the house of karma, profession, and status, while the 4th house is about home, peace, mother, and inner comfort. When the fourth lord goes to the 10th house, it directly aspects its own house, which means that the connection between inner peace and outer work becomes very powerful. Such a person finds their happiness and sense of satisfaction not by sitting at home in comfort but by working hard and achieving in their career. Their home life and mental peace are tied with how well they are doing in their professional life. This placement shows that the native is ambitious and determined to build a good career, social status, and recognition. Comforts, wealth, and happiness are earned through effort, through their father's support, or through their own professional journey. The 10th house also represents the father's wealth and family, so there is a link between the person's success and the father's role or background. In many cases, the mother also enjoys a high social status and teaches the native how to interact well in society. The mother's advice can play an important role in shaping the career path. Professionally, this placement can take people into fields connected with real estate, property, architecture, interior design, vehicles, and construction. If Saturn is the fourth lord, then large-scale industries, manufacturing, and work with iron or heavy machinery are possible. It also shows that the person may build their career step by step with discipline and hard effort. Sometimes, the work may even be home-related or connected with land and buildings. Because the 10th house is a very public place, the fourth lord here also gives a strong inclination toward politics, leadership, and working under government or in roles where government involvement is high. This placement can give the ability to influence the public, to inspire people, and to gain fame through profession. Many times, it makes people interested in careers where social recognition and authority matter. At the same time, there is a deeper lesson here. The fourth lord belongs to a moksha house, which shows inner peace and liberation, but when it goes into the artha triangle of work and material achievements, the mind becomes occupied with profession, money, and fame. If the native constantly runs after status and wealth, peace will remain elusive, like a deer chasing a mirage. Only when one performs karma sincerely without obsession can true happiness and calmness be experienced. There are also delicate aspects of family life seen here. Since the 10th house also represents the mother-in-law, this placement can show connections between the mother and mother-in-law, sometimes harmonious and sometimes conflicting, depending on the sign and aspects. It may also indicate that the mother or the spouse can play a role in the profession, and in some cases, joint ventures or family-based businesses can bring success. Partnerships with the spouse or the mother in career can work very well, provided there are no severe afflictions. A caution is that this is a Maraka placement, so mental peace and even health can sometimes suffer because of the heavy focus on career. The person may become so ambitious and driven that inner balance is lost. Stress, anxiety, or health issues can develop if they do not maintain discipline in their work-life balance. The mother's health may also need care, and disputes between parents or within the family can sometimes disturb inner peace, If benefic planets influence this placement, it gives tremendous success, social recognition, and wealth through profession. It can make the native well respected and allow them to create a legacy. But if malefics afflict, it can create disputes with the father, strained family relations, and struggles in career. Rahu with this placement can give sudden fame and rise in profession but also create conflicts in family life. Overall, the fourth lord in the 10th house is a strong placement for building career, social standing, and authority. It makes the person ambitious, hardworking, and often politically or socially active. At the same time, it teaches that true happiness cannot come only from material success but also from maintaining peace of mind and balancing family relationships. The blessings of the mother, the guidance of the father, and a balanced approach to ambition are the key factors that decide how positively this placement will manifest. When the lord of the fourth house is placed in the 11th house, it creates a very interesting connection between home, inner peace, assets, and the area of gains, wish fulfillment, and social network. The 11th house is usually considered a place of material benefits, regular income, and expansion of connections, while the 4th house represents emotional peace, mother, home, real estate, and personal stability. When the ruler of the 4th goes to the 11th, it travels 8 places away, which brings the influence of sudden events, transformation, secrecy, and hidden matters into the relationship between home life and gains. This makes the situation sometimes rewarding but also tricky. Because the flow of energy carries both opportunities and disturbances, in practical life, this can show that a person's assets and sense of security are often linked with their ambitions and long-term goals, but with unexpected changes. For example, someone may wish to buy property or invest in a vehicle for comfort and status, but sudden rules, financial restrictions, or government policies may change their plans and disturb the expected benefit. This placement shows that the fulfillment of desires is possible, but there will always be some hidden obstacle, delay, or unplanned situation that arises along the way. It also shows that the mind of the native, which is symbolized by the 4th house, gets involved with social circles and gains, but because of the 8th house influence from the 4th to the 11th, the mind is not always at ease. There can be mood swings, anxiety, and restlessness connected with money or status. Sometimes the person may appear to have a large network of people and contacts across many places, but internally they may feel isolated or prefer to withdraw from the group. The social circle may look wide, yet the person may not feel deeply connected and may even lose interest in it after some time. Another important feature is that the person can become a connector or a hidden supporter within networks. They may not always use their contacts for their own gain, but they are often very helpful in connecting others, guiding friends, or providing solutions that benefit someone else. In this way, they become a valuable resource in their circle, even if they themselves do not always directly profit from it. The hidden power of networking is strong here, and sometimes it may bring indirect or delayed rewards. Family influences are also very strong with this placement. The mother may hold an official post or a respected position, especially if the chart supports this, and she may be seen as a working woman with responsibility. The father may have a transferable job or a profession connected with technical, mechanical, or electrical work. This also shows that the domestic environment may change often, and stability may come later in life. For some natives, true growth in property or assets may only happen after an important event in family life, such as the marriage of a child or after settling in one place following many moves. On the mental and emotional side, such people may have experienced a painful or difficult childhood, sometimes filled with trauma or instability, which leaves lasting impressions. Because the Lord of Home and Peace has moved to the house of gains but through an 8th house influence, the memories of early life can bring anxiety, depression, or fluctuations in inner stability. The mind may crave growth, wealth, and recognition, but it also struggles to stay calm. When money is flowing into the bank account, the person feels satisfied, but emotional fulfillment may not last long. Education can also be disturbed by this placement, especially if planets like Ketu are involved. It may happen that the person starts earning at a young age and becomes more focused on income than studies, leading to breaks in formal education. This again reflects the restless energy of the 4th lord in the 11th, where stability and continuity are often challenged by sudden turns. At the same time, the 11th house is the second from the 10th, so it also shows the bank balance of career and the rise of social status. The native often gains recognition, wealth, and opportunities in time, but the mind does not easily settle. They may achieve material gains yet still feel something is missing emotionally. The key for such a person is to develop acceptance and a let-go attitude, because thinking too much about status, income, or family peace only increases inner disturbance. The domestic atmosphere in such cases can also be unpredictable, with sudden changes or disturbances at home that deeply affect the mind. The best remedy for such natives is to embrace flexibility, allow life's events to unfold without resistance, and engage in travel or outside connections to refresh their mind. Meeting new people and experiencing different environments can bring a sense of relief and balance. Ultimately, acceptance becomes the real solution, as it allows the person to find peace in the middle of constant fluctuations and to transform challenges into opportunities for growth. When the 4th house lord is placed in the 12th house, it creates a very unique and deep connection between home, peace of mind, and spirituality. The 12th house is the house of isolation, foreign lands, losses, expenses, imagination, detachment, and ultimate liberation, while the 4th house represents mother, home, comfort, stability, and emotional peace. When the lord of the 4th sits in the 12th, the person's idea of home and inner peace often shifts away from the material world and becomes more connected with higher truths, detachment, and spiritual growth. This position allows the native to understand the impermanence of worldly attachments and helps them learn to let go of material desires. Such a person is often detached from wealth, social status, and material possessions. They may not care much about what people think of them or how society judges them. Their mind naturally inclines towards freedom, inner contentment, and higher wisdom. Even if wealth or possessions are taken away from them, they may not feel much pain because they know these things are temporary. On a deeper level, this placement can create a person who feels like a fakir, someone who is free from bondage and material illusions. This position often brings a strong chance of living away from one's birthplace or being separated from the homeland for a long time. The person may settle in a foreign country, or at least far away from where they were born. Home and peace of mind may be found in foreign places, and building property or assets away from the native land is common. In many cases, the person gains happiness and comfort by creating a home in another culture or distant location. From the perspective of family and mother, this placement can show distance or separation. The person may have lived away from their mother during childhood for education, boarding school, or other reasons. The mother herself may be simple, spiritual, or charitable in nature. Sometimes this placement can even indicate that the mother has strong religious or philosophical inclinations and a kind, giving personality. At the same time, the native may feel emotionally distant from the mother or spend much of life separated by physical distance. The 12th house is also a house of spirituality and moksha, so the 4th lord placed here can bring deep spiritual insight. Such people may take interest in meditation, charity work, healing, or guiding others through spiritual practices. They may also feel happiest when they help those in pain, whether financially or emotionally. Their inner peace often comes from giving and helping rather than from receiving or accumulating. This is why many with this placement are charitable and generous, even if they themselves do not have abundant resources. At the same time, this position can bring certain challenges. If afflicted, it can create overthinking, anxiety, depression, or even sleep-related issues like insomnia or sleep apnea. Because the 4th house also represents the chest and lungs, problems like coughs, chest tightness, or respiratory issues can also appear if malefic planets like Rahu or Saturn influence this placement. These challenges often increase when the mind becomes too attached or restless. Meditation, detachment, and spiritual practice can help balance this energy. On a material level, people with this placement may spend money on luxuries, branded items, or foreign goods. Some may enjoy driving beautiful cars or living in luxury homes abroad. But even when they acquire these comforts, they do not cling to them deeply, because deep inside they know these things are not permanent. They may build assets and then spend them for the happiness of family or for good causes. The attachment is lighter, and they know how to let go more easily than others. This placement also gives the tendency to find peace in solitude. Even if the person has a wide social circle, at the end of the day they prefer to spend time alone, reflecting and recharging their mind. They process their emotions in private and often need a personal space of isolation to feel balanced. Their peace of mind grows when they invest time in their inner world rather than in external achievements. Overall, the fourth lord in the 12th house can be seen as a blessing in disguise. It teaches detachment from illusions, freedom from constant chasing of wealth, and an understanding of higher truths. While it can sometimes bring challenges like separation from homeland or emotional distance, it also grants spiritual strength, compassion, and the ability to help others. The more the native accepts detachment as a natural path, the more peace, fortune, and inner growth this placement will bring. It is a placement that shifts the idea of home from the physical world into the inner spiritual world, giving the native the chance to live a life of both worldly experience and higher wisdom. Thank you so much for watching today's session on the 4th house lord and its impact in your chart. Now it's your turn. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us how true these interpretations feel for you, and let us know about your own personal experiences. Your stories help us all learn and grow together. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Taurus Astro. And remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll be back soon with more insights into the wisdom of Vedic astrology. Until then, stay blessed, stay curious, and may peace always be with you.